Hello and welcome to another episode of Idle Stand Nation. It might look a little different today, but I am your host, Nick, and with me is Aura today. Say hi.
Sup?
Awesome. So, obviously it might look a little different. Jihoon's not here, but we're going to work through that, and we are just going to bring it into our first topic today. We have a bit of a soloist episode. We have one group, but
It's been a soloist week, dude.
It has been. There's a lot of soloists, and picking this was very difficult. But we want to give you guys a nice variety today. So, yeah. Well, let's just start getting into it. The first person today is Moonbyul with her single "Snow."
Oh, and by the way, it released the day that we are recording. So
Correct.
We literally just watched this not too long ago. Oh, and it also released on her birthday, so happy birthday, Moonbyul!
Happy birthday!
Even though it's gonna be late when if she ever sees this.
Not important. Not important.
But okay, so Moonbyul, she released her newest music video called "Snow." And oh my god, what were your thoughts?
Oh my god. Great segue. It was an amazing song. I was not expecting that. When I heard Moonbyul solo, I was like, okay, maybe it'll be like a semi-hard, semi-soft rap, you know, kind of like a cypher almost. Nope, not at all. She was like, no, I'm going full ballad. I am a vocal.
It was
amazing.
I was like, whew, whew.
Yeah, she popped off.
Oh yeah.
And the scenery was insane.
It was beautiful. Like how it was done, how it looked, how there were scenes where it looked like it was a photograph of her just moving across the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Oh my, yes. That scene really got me. I was like, oh my god, when it had the photos.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And that one scene where they had it in reverse because originally she put up her hand, but where she put down her hand and the snow was flying upwards because they reversed the video. Yeah. Oh, that was a scene. I was like, oh man, I want that as like my desktop background, please. Okay,
so basically, you're gonna keep on hitting print screen until you can get that exact screen.
Yeah. I'm just gonna like rapidly press print screen until I can get it.
No. That song. Oh, I was left speechless, dude.
Me too.
Me too. Like, I thought I loved Wheeon's solo song, but I love this.
They're seriously gonna like try to compete with each other for like which Mamamoo member had the best solo.
Dude, all of them have had amazing solos.
They have.
It's not fair, okay?
It's really, and we also have to throw this in our end of the year too.
Oh no!
Because this also competes for end of the year.
Yeah.
Oh,
I hate you. you remind. I had my list done. Oh, by the way, spoilers. We're having an end of the year video. Not counting this one when it's released, but
yeah.
Well,
it'll just be like our wrap ups, you know.
Yeah. So
just with a little more content.
Mm-hmm. But dang it, I had my list done too.
Well, you gotta reevaluate.
Gotta reevaluate and re-record.
That's true. Yeah, I haven't done my recording yet, so I can throw it in if I need to. All right. So with that, what did you think about the overall like cinematography aspects of that?
It was really well done. It matched the song so well. Like, I have no complaints. The lighting was on point. The visuals, Moonbyul's visuals, on point.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I will say my only one real like gripe with this is that the song was very stagnant. Like,
was it
pace wise?
Mm.
Like, it was just kind of, it's a ballad. You can't really like, you have a high point in a ballad, but this just didn't really have that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I wish it kind of had like a high point. Like, I wish it had in music it's called a climax. I wish it just had that like that climax where it was just like, yes, this is like, the point in which this is like the point in the song.
Yeah.
But it just, unfortunately, it didn't have that. I mean, it was kind of a pretty stagnant pace.
Okay.
And so I wish they kind of did a few things to like change it up a little bit.
I mean, so as everyone knows, I'm not a music theorist. But I do kind of get it. I'm learning. Okay, from doing these many podcasts, I'm somewhat learning. I get it, but again, it's I feel like it's a little bit harder unless like she mixed a little bit of her hip hopness into the ballad. But since it's just a straight ballad, I feel like it's definitely a little bit harder.
Yeah, there's definitely a challenge there. That being said, I feel like they also, if they weren't going to do it in the song, I feel like they could have done something with the cinematography side of it to make it seem like it was picking up a little bit. I like using a pan, for example.
Yeah.
Or like tilting or something like that. But they just, I mean, I think almost every shot inside of that was either a zoom or a stationary shot.
Yeah, it pretty much was. I don't know what else that they could have done. Obviously, I'm not the cinematographer for this. I would have loved to be. I would have so loved to be.
Hit him up. Call him up.
Yeah, right? Oh, and by the way, sorry if anyone picks up on... There's construction going outside my house, so if there's construction that you guys hear, oops.
Way more.
Yeah, right? But no. Yeah, hit me up. I'd be happy to work on some cinematography. I got some ideas. Sprinkle in some snow, throw in some, like background members, just for some fan service.
So now I wanna shift our focus here onto our next artist that had very interesting cinematography.
Yeah,
and that was Mia's Orgel.
Is it pronounced Orgel? I could never figure out how it was pronounced.
Orgel, actually, but
Orgel. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. I think the entire music video was, to be honest, was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
How should I say this? It felt like it was definitely movie-like.
It was. It was a story.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because it was a story, and it wasn't like, you would really have to like, I don't even know how, yeah, it's hard to put it, but it was like a story with incomplete pieces, but what she was what she was singing about really put the pieces in place. Like, it really made sense like if you just listen to the song and if you know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
But so I know there's not lyrics on the video, but if you guys are listening to the song, I definitely encourage you to look up lyrics and just it really makes the story fit perfectly.
Yeah, for someone like me who doesn't understand the lyrics, who's like, okay, it's a little bit confusing. Mm-hmm. But if you also understand like somewhat about the symbolism of like certain objects and what they could mean, you can also piece a little bit of it together. But that's still only a small part of the story, and that's just going to be what it is.
Also, I'm very surprised that they. So it looks like the video was actually filmed in LA, potentially, or
I don't know.
It's somewhere.
Geography.
It's somewhere in the U.S. 100%, because they have like the street signs that she's hanging off of are all, U.S. street signs and stuff like that. So
I did not notice that.
Yeah, and so it's and it shows like the skyline, the city like behind her in one like shot. And I could definitely see that being LA, New York, potentially somewhere along those lines. But it's very vertically built, so
I know it's a place that's like pretty sunny, so I don't think it'd be New York.
Yeah, not if it's filmed anytime recently.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, they also have the canals, which makes me definitely think it could be LA.
Okay.
But regardless, it's very interesting because she's not like a really high selling artist. And so, sending her overseas is like a big step for her company.
Right. By the way, for those who don't know, she's part of Stone Music. So.
Yeah. But yeah, so. Definitely, and the song. Oh my god, the song was like a vibe.
It was. Like again. Still don't understand it. Still don't know what the words say. But I loved listening to it.
Her voice is very, very unique in a way. And, listening to that, it's like, wow, like, that's definitely like... It's definitely like a vibe that she creates just by singing. And then the vocals... Her vocals match the track so well. And so... It just creates like an all-around, like, great, listening experience.
Yeah. I also feel like the color choices of the areas that they filmed, like, it was a definite choice to choose those certain colors because it helped accompany the feel of the music video. It helped accompany the feel of the song very much. It felt like a very warm song.
Yeah.
Despite it being released in the middle of winter.
Although, what I do find interesting is, so you might be able to enlighten me a little bit on this, but their choice of aspect ratio for the video. Because it's not phone size and it's not monitor size. It's 4:3. It's a place in between.
It's more it's kind of like a film reel. So film reels aren't always in the most, or at least the old film reels. Like, it's very reminiscent style too, where it's in the, I want to say, early 90s. That's basically the ratio that I feel like it was going for.
Okay.
So it's just to give because they did do it in the whole like film style. It's not the modern film style, is more of the old film style.
Okay.
With the film reel, which I think helps accompany the feel of the music video because it does cut it into segments, which makes it easier to convey a message, or to convey like this scene is going to be different from this scene, which is different from this scene.
Right.
But also a way to make it flow together really well. So, but then again, this is also speculation because I am guessing what the feeling of the song. Because I don't know what the title means. I have no idea what the title means at all. So I don't have the feeling for that. But I also don't understand what she's saying. I can just enjoy the music and enjoy the video and a little bit of the symbolism and the enjoyment of the color choices.
Right. Well, okay. So the title means music box.
Okay.
Which, yeah, is accompanied by the sound and there's like her actually playing with the music box and stuff like that. So, yeah, okay. That's what the title means. It means music box.
Okay. Then that definitely helps that actually helps a ton. Because you notice how music boxes are usually used as a reminiscent tool. Because they're nice, they're beautiful, but you don't see them as much around anyone's houses anymore. You don't really gift it to people anymore. But those who have it to remember someone by. And it's also usually associated with, like, good memories. So, having a film reel, having the color choices, definitely emphasizes something old, but, like, good memories associated with those old memories. So, and then and then choosing that aspect helps to enhance that experience. At least that's my opinion. I could be completely wrong and miss the mark. And
Nah, I think you're pretty spot on with that, honestly.
And then it's like she actually watches us talking about this, and she's like, "Yeah, no, you're completely
wrong. Just no.
Just gonna comment in the comments below. You guys suck." And by the way, we're not saying that that's her actual personality. We're just kind of joking.
But okay, so yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that as being like one of the main reasons why, you know, they went like with that type of feel, and it makes a lot of sense. With that, we're kind of starting to repeat ourselves a little bit.
Yeah, so we are going to go with a group this time. ONEUS.
But before that, I want to talk about our Discord server. So we have a Discord server. And we talk there very frequently, and we would really like you guys to, you know, join us there. You know, you could discuss, you know, your opinions on any topics today, and stuff like that. You could tell us how wrong we are. You know, I'm sure a lot of people would love to call Aura wrong.
Hey, maybe they want to agree with me and tell me that you guys are wrong, and be like, hey, maybe Aura's right.
Or it's not right. But anyway, so... yeah, I mean, come on, man. So, definitely, you know, come join our Discord server. Link is in the description down below. So make sure that you come, and chat with us, because we're always there. With that, now we'll be moving on to our next topic. So, let's see if we get to call Aura wrong again. This is a group this time. This is their second Japanese single. This is ONEUS with their song 808.
So, can I say one thing? When they first started the song, I thought they were saying AOA.
Oh, like, no.
I'm like, are they saying 808 repeatedly? What? Why are they mentioning? Oh wait. Then I remembered that the title was 808. I'm like, oh, damn it. So technically, I was wrong right off the bat. Technically. But yeah, no. This is the second Japanese single, I believe.
Yes.
So, great job.
So with this song, I was listening to it. Nori was here with me. I was listening to it, and I was like, "This reminds me of something." Like, and I don't know what. And I could not put my finger on it. I was sitting here like agonizing over why I could not figure out what this reminded me of. And then it hit me like a freight train. This reminds me of like Exile.
Yeah.
But it's not like a carbon copy. It's very different from Exile, but it's that feeling, right? Especially like their song New Horizons, for example.
Love that song.
It's a great song. But it just reminded me of that because there's a lot of things that go on inside of the song that are very similar, especially the melody. The melody's not exactly the same, but it gives off that feeling of like a similar vibe almost.
Right.
But yeah, I was like agonizing. Needless to say, this is a really good song. I usually am not like a fan of Japanese releases, just because they a lot of companies, notably, there's a lot of notable people that do this, but notably like iTunes, for example, they change their sound to fit the Japanese market.
Yeah.
And that's just the thing that happened. I mean, you're going into a completely different market, a completely different environment. You have to change the sound a little bit. But I don't feel like ONEUS really did that.
I feel like with the male group, they don't have to change it.
Right.
With the girl groups, they do have to change a little bit.
I think it's more noticeable in the girl group simply because like the Japanese culture
because higher voices are considered a lot cuter.
Right.
Cute culture is very, very strong in
very strong. Very strong. But I don't think ONEUS really
I mean, it is because they are. I hate to say this, I feel like it's because of the.
Honestly, I think you're right.
Because if you've seen, since you mentioned Exile, they definitely do a more masculine kind of, I guess. Not to say it's a bad thing, not to say it takes away from the talent of girl groups or anything. It's just kind of how the culture is and how music is listened to. But in all honesty, I think it was a good song. It was well produced.
I liked it a lot.
There were a lot of lights.
So that actually reminded me, that one scene where it was a bunch of lights hanging down in the background, and some in front of him, obviously, to offset the amount. I really liked that scene.
Yeah.
I thought it was really well done. Now, obviously, not all of those lights are real. Let's be real here. It's a green screen. But, a good majority of the ones that you can actually see is real. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of them in the back that are kind of blurry and whatever is obviously green screen.
Yeah.
But it created a very cool like effect, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that was really genius for them to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, for me, it was a good song. I could dance to it. Not well, but I could. But No, it is what it is. I don't have much to say on it. Just because it felt very much like a stage show.
It did.
So it's something that
if we see them on stage, that performing this song, for example, I feel like it's going to be a really good stage.
Oh yeah, I'd watch it in a heartbeat.
So I think once, if they perform this song in a stage, I think it's going to be a really good stage, and I will watch that 100%.
Oh yeah.
Because I really want to see like their choreography and how they did all
how
that.
they translate it into from music video to stage.
Yeah, because it's actually like it's underappreciated, but it's a really hard thing to do.
Yeah.
So that the fact that like if they're able to do that well, it's going to be really cool to see. All right, so
before we talk around in circles.
Before we talk around in circles again.
Should we do our MV of the week before our discussion?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So,
I think we have a similar opinion here.
I'm pretty sure. I think we're on the same wavelength. You want to say
it on 3?
All right. 3, 2, 3.
3, 2, 1.
Moonbyul.
Okay.
We suck at this, dude. We suck at. So Moonbyul's Snow is our choice. We suck at counting, but
I mean, come on. It's like 3, 1. Yeah, it's fine.
I went 3, 2, 1, and then you went 1, 2, 3. So.
So, Moonbyul Snow, obviously, I had no doubt in my mind that was going to be our MV of the week.
Right?
It is just insanely good. And honestly, I mean, I think we spent the most time on that.
I think we were giving praises out there.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, I almost had to split mine because while Moonbyul's was like the song of the week, right?
Mm-hmm.
I liked Mia's cinematography better.
Really?
Yeah, because it told a story. You know, it was a full like movie and music video in one. Whereas Moonbyul's was a lot about visual aspects. But yeah. But my vote still goes to Moonbyul because that song is still that good.
So we didn't mention this one, but if we have to add cinematography, I
know what you're gonna go with.
I want to say CL's thank you for the cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
That stop motion and claymation. So, for those who don't know, for 3 minutes, it could take days, maybe even weeks to do that claymation. And to get the lighting right, to get the positions. Because all of it's an
individual shot, right?
Everything is in an individual shot. So, 5 seconds could take hours to do. I remember my friend doing a 10-minute clip, and it took him like a couple of months.
Jeez.
So, I can appreciate the hard work she did for that. And working with clay isn't easy. You have to make every single item. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, it wasn't perfectly shaped like a banana or any of the other fruit, but it was close. Mm-hmm. So, I can at least appreciate. I mean, it wasn't my favorite song, but I can at least appreciate the cinematography for that.
Absolutely.
But without further ado, let's go to the discussion.
You want to bring it in?
So, yeah. So with everything that's happened over the last few months, and with the recent Mnet statement about not having survival or audition shows anymore, What are your thoughts on whether survival shows should or should not continue? Like, or if they should still exist?
Okay. So, survival shows that are 100% truthful are a win-win for everyone. Because, well, I see this in the aspect of the company obviously gets a ton of revenue from it. They get to produce a group. The trainees that even don't make it, or I should say the trainees that do make it, increase their popularity tenfold.
Oh, yeah.
The trainees that don't make it still manage to increase their popularity or have some, almost resume type,
right.
Backing. And the fans, they get to vote for their favorite trainees to make it into a group. And on top of that, they might discover new artists that they want to support. It's a win-win-win in that scenario. Everybody wins.
Win. Four wins.
Everybody wins. And the trainees do go through a bunch of emotional stuff.
Yeah.
We've seen it, but ones that are run the correct way are not that bad. There are a lot of survival shows that are run very wrong. Yeah. Most notably 16. That is like the one everybody points to for how not to run a survival show. Yeah. But you also have to think about at the time that survival show was running, survival shows weren't like the only way to produce a group. And they still aren't, but they're much more popular now than they were back when 16 was going on.
Yeah.
And we have other survival shows that weren't run correctly. Mix 9, for example. The Unit. But even inside of the Unit, the way they ran the Unit survival show was alright. Idol School. Idol School was run well.
From what we could see, there were a lot of behind the stuff that wasn't run well.
Correct. I meant in total production and how they actually ran the airing series.
Yeah.
They ran it well. Of course, not everything is perfect inside of a survival show. Every survival show has its problems. I mean, wasn't it like 2 p.m. was also run through a survival show or something like that?
Yeah.
Some older groups.
2 a.m., 2 p.m., they were originally like one group. I think that it was a survival show.
Yeah.
I don't remember everything.
So even inside that, survival shows are very old. They've been going on for quite a while. But with the recent stuff regarding Mnet specifically, I think survival shows should run and will still be able to, but I think a lot of people are going to go back to the old way of producing a group, and that's just finding trainees, putting a group together, calling it a day.
Yeah.
The problem is that there's a lot less risk and more reward from doing a survival show.
I mean, yeah. For me, because I'm in a similar idea as you, where I think there should still be survival shows. They definitely have to be run differently, though.
100%.
Because one, very, very similar to what you said, trainees get more recognition. Because how often do you get to hear about all these trainees?
Right.
I would have never known about the amazing voice of Cho-won from Cube, or how likely would we have ever seen Natia again if it wasn't for Idol School?
Right.
I mean, honestly, I would still love to see a lot of them debut.
Yeah, and I mean, on top of that, you have the people that finished Produce 48, right? That weren't already obviously part of AKB and stuff like that. Those people, the people that finished high, 11th, 12th, 13th place, they are much better off.
Some of them have debuted since then.
I mean, yeah. Look at Lee Jin-hyuk.
Oh, yeah.
When he came in, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, that's the guy. That's one of the guys from Uptension." You know, him and Woo Shin, right? It's just one of the guys from Uptension. But now Lee Jin-hyuk debuts, and it's like, that's Lee Jin-hyuk. You know,
right?
He's not just one of the guys from Uptension anymore. He's effectively, you know, a lot more popular.
Right. It also helps smaller groups because, what was it, Victon, and Uptension.
Yeah.
I've before Produce X 101, I had never heard of those groups.
Right.
I'm sorry to all the fans, by the way.
Yeah, you just made a lot of enemies.
But I'd never heard of them before Produce, and to be honest, as I've watched them, the members that did participate enter the show and see them train, see them grow, see them help the younger members who are still trainees. Mm-hmm. It's a way for people who've debuted to pass on their experiences to trainees who haven't debuted yet.
Right.
And it allows the popularity to grow. It allows the experience of the trainees to grow. It's such a rapid experience that they have to go through to become better.
Right.
But yeah,
and I mean, as far as that goes, and like I said, I mean, it gets them a rep as well.
Yeah, it definitely gives them a rep.
I mean, like, a big thing is, right, Cheon.
Mm-hmm.
As everyone knows, you know, this is Cheon's third survival show that she competed on. Mm-hmm. K-pop Star to get her a little bit of fame, which actually helped JYP recognize her. Then she participated in 16, which grew her clout even more. When she transferred to WM, she participated in Produce 48. And I don't know if you remember, because you watched it, right?
For Produce and X16? Yeah.
Produce 48.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember when she walked in? You remember everyone's face?
They're like, oh, is that Chaeyeon? What?
Everyone knew who she was.
Right?
Everyone was like, oh, we're screwed. It's over. You know, everyone was like, wow, I cannot believe she's actually here. And she would not be nearly that well known if it wasn't for those survival shows.
Right. Same with Somi. When she was on the first Produce, it's like, everybody was like, oh, that's Somi. Oh my god, that's Somi.
Right. And it's insane how much, like, survival shows like that can grow your personal brand.
Mm-hmm.
And trainees today, okay, it's not like it was 10 years ago where the pool of trainees was only this big. The pool of trainees is huge. It's no joke.
And getting recognition is going to be harder.
Because the problem is that as trainees, you know, I'm sure you've noticed this a bit. As trainees have grown and eventually stopped, you know, making music, they've gone to start their own companies.
Or gone to become actresses.
Yeah. Or gone to become actresses, or gone to become, you know, do whatever. But as those trainees that originally started in first gen K-pop, as they debuted and, you know, whatever, like, that's why we have all these companies we do now, because the number of companies we have today is insane.
Right?
I mean, it's not something you really think about until you really get to start knowing, you know, small groups, right? Because you come up with company names that you're like, I've
JYP.
never heard of those.
It's like JYP, frickin'...
Yeah, everyone knows the big four right now.
Yeah, JYP, you know? Big Hit, SM, YG. But then there's also Medium that
Yeah, I mean, you have
generally known.
You have Stone Music, you have Cube, you have those companies.
But then there's like Ueha and We Entertainment,
right?
Where like I had never heard of those companies before Produce,
right? And so and that's another thing for companies is that the companies that are sending their trainees are getting their company name out there.
Yep.
Two companies, they were already semi-popular. They were already to pretty popular beforehand, or pretty well known, but that has skyrocketed their brands, because of the Produce series is Woollim and Starship.
Woollim for sure.
Starship was already well known, but they have really skyrocketed their brand thanks to having so many trainees on those shows and getting them to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, Chaeyoung put WM on the map.
Yeah.
I had never heard of WM before Chaeyoung.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I had, but I'd forgotten about him, Or, like, Kang Hae-won with AD Creative.
Yeah.
So these companies are, like, growing their brands, which are only going to grow their trainee pool more, which are going to then populate the trainee pool,
Which, gives people who potentially want to be trainees more chances.
But it's also but it's also a lot of competition.
Yeah. I mean,
because right now, in my opinion, currently, the K-pop market, the trainee pool is very overpopulated.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a lot of trainees, and that's why not all the trainees that become trainees eventually go into groups. It's not a 100% conversion rate. As much as everyone wants to believe it is, it's not.
Yeah, same with groups. Groups don't have a 100% success rate.
No. There's a ton of groups that I can think of that have basically fizzled out and died in debut. Right after
Tasha's
debut.
group from Idol School.
Yeah.
And she was in a group, and now like that group wasn't. I didn't even know she was in a group till like way after Idol School.
Yeah.
By the way, she's an actress now.
So I mean, as far as that goes, the training pool is huge, and especially because like I'm all into the very small groups, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because I'm all into the very small groups, I see that a lot. I see a lot of groups fizzle out and die.
It's sad, but it's true.
It's sad, but it's true. I mean, groups that don't make their success but continue going are the groups that like that they're going to be really dedicated.
Yeah.
But at the same time, having a company that wants you to be that dedicated is very hard. So that's kind of where these groups come into play, because it's like these smaller people from these very tiny companies can make it. It's possible.
And getting their names recognized in these survival shows is what's gonna help.
Exactly, So as far as that goes, my overall opinion is: are survival shows good? No. But are they a necessary evil? Yes.
Yeah. Definitely if they were to change a lot of how things were done, like, I don't like the fact, well, at least from what we know, or what we've been heard around, like the cloud or whatever, is that, Idol School wasn't allowing the trainees time to go to school. It's allow them to get an education, allow them to eat a proper meal, like treat them as human beings, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, all of that is very, very necessary to make a good survival show. That being said, it's going to be a bit difficult to do that because of the current way that idol trainees are, the current rights that they're given, essentially.
Yeah.
That being said, though, it's definitely possible. But like I said, even with the current way idol shows are, survival shows are going, I think they're a necessary evil because it helps out everyone for the most part if voting isn't rigged. It helps out everyone everyone for better,
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of is hard on the idol. Now that being said, I think there also should be a point in place where the idol gets to choose if they want to go on the show.
Right.
Because darn well, a lot of them didn't get to choose to be on that show. This or that show.
Yeah.
It was their company saying go.
Mm-hmm.
I think in that sense, it should be the idol choosing if they want to go.
It should very much be up to the idols. I mean, there have been very many trainees that have come out and say, they're given their thoughts on this whole subject. I won't say names, but you can definitely search it up. Soompi's got articles with it. YouTube's got videos of it.
Yep.
But some of them may not have. Some of them have said that they've met amazing lifelong friends, off of these survival shows, and personally, I think that's great. The conditions were terrible. If my understanding is correct from what the trainees have said, the conditions were absolutely horrid. Mm-hmm. And if they were as horrid as I'm imagining it, which may be actually worse than what actually happened, because that's how my brain works. It needs to be improved.
It does.
But the relationships that are built, the recognitions that they have gained, it's immense,
It is. Yeah, and I think a very common misconception is trainees walk out of survival shows. If they lose, they walk out with nothing. And that's just quite literally not true. Some of them quite literally do walk out with nothing. If you finish in 99th place, I'm sorry, you're probably not going to get anything, out of the survival show. Aside from more training, which probably helped you in any way. But
I mean, survival shows do give a little bit more training or rapid training because there's a certain time limit. You have to learn certain skills, and also I get
fighting to survive in the high ranks.
I mean, they're also considered audition shows now.
Yeah, they can be considered whatever they want.
But no, having equal time is also never going to be possible.
Right.
I'm sorry to say, it's an honest truth. You can't give equal amount of time to 101 people.
It's just not gonna work. Everyone's gonna get 1 second.
Yeah. And that's not enough for you to appreciate every single trainee. And unfortunately, there are a lot of talented trainees that get overlooked. I mean, there are some trainees that get overlooked despite their talent,
Yeah. So, alrighty. I feel like we're kind of talking ourselves back into circles here.
Yeah. So, final thoughts? Necessary evil?
I think they're a necessary evil.
Necessary evil. I mean, if any of them are watching, we would love to talk to you, or as a fan or not, if...
I'd love to tell you how you're supposed to do this right, and then...
Yeah, tell us, give us what you can, or tell us that we're wrong, or, let us fanboy, I don't know.
Also, to the people watching, I want to know your comments as well. I want to know what you guys think about survival shows. With the current with the current way survival shows are going, what do you think? What do you think is the optimal way that they should go?
Should they still exist? Should they still continue?
Yeah.
I mean, are there trainees that you would have never, that you love now and still support, even though that they didn't debut?
Yep.
But may not have known if there weren't survival shows. I wouldn't have known Nati. I wouldn't have known Chaeyeon. I wouldn't have known, so many, Chowan, so many others.
Yep. So definitely make sure you leave us a comment and explaining, what you think about survival shows.
Tell us what we're wrong. Tell us what we're right.
Yeah.
Disagree. Agree.
Also make sure, of course, you join us on Discord and tell us why we're wrong there.
Or listen to all the music videos that we find and kind of post on there. We got J-pop and K-pop.
Oh yeah, we post MVs on there all the time. And honestly, quite literally, almost as a spoiler, we post every MV of the week, so you'll know that what MVs we will be talking about that week. Yeah,
we won't talk about them all, but we'll talk about some.
We will definitely talk about the ones in there. Some of the ones in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you want to take the outro?
Well, do you have any quick shots?
Oh, right. Probably should do our quick shots, huh?
Yeah.
I completely just skipped over that. Go ahead.
You're the one with the quick shot.
You got a quick shot. Fine. Alright, so, my quick shot for the week. As of December 16th, Stray Kids Han is not participating in currently scheduled fan signing events due to health. They've had a pretty rough end of the year with Woojin leaving, and then now Han is not participating. He's not participating December 20th, 21st, or 26th at the fan signing events. Mm-hmm. There was an update to this article that said that he was showing symptoms of intermittent psychological anxiety, and it does not impede on the majority of regular broadcast schedules and stages. Mm-hmm. But he feels extreme tension when he is close to groups of people. His health is greatly improving through active treatment. And Han appeared at the fan signing event that apparently took place the other day to not worry fans. Mm-hmm. But he was not able to stay till the end of the event.
Well,
and it was also just released that he is also not participating in the 2020 Isaac. So, because that is scheduled for filming for this week.
I think it's already happened.
Yeah.
Well, hope he feels better. Mm-hmm. We wish get well soon, Han. And yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And as a reminder for the PSA from last week, which, by the way, Nick wasn't a part of, but, remember to respect your idol's privacy, respect the idols,
definitely.
Be kind to them. There's been so much things going on lately. Make sure that the idols are safe. Make sure that, you're not invading their private space. Don't invade their family's private space.
Oh, yeah. Just be an all-around nice person.
Right. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Thank you for listening, everyone. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like our podcast. Join us on Discord. Tell us what we're wrong. Tell us what we're right. Make fun of us. Fanboy with us. Fangirl with us. And we'll talk to you next time. And yeah. Peace.